I'm the youngest of their 3 children. I had 2 brothers who were older. My grandparents all came from Sweden, so I'm 100% Swedish and proud of it. My dad was a farmer originally in southern Minnesota, and my mom and dad met at a youth conference. My mother worked in a laundry. First, she cleaned dorms at Augsburg College. And by the way, she said the boys were much cleaner than the girls. And, and then she worked at Fairview Hospital in the laundry. My father worked in the gem factory most of when I was young, and then went to work for a furniture company in their warehouse. So he did manual labor. It was a small family, and I only had 3 first cousins, and they were all boys, and my brother, so I was the only girl in the family, which I think worked to my advantage later in life. My church was an important part of my growing up. My mother was church organist for 35 years, and we had several professors and such from Bethel who were members of our church. So that's how I got to know about Bethel. I was the first one in my family to graduate from college. Well, I had a combined major of business and international relations. I designed my own major at the U. I was usually the only woman in my class, so that was kind of unusual, but I guess I was used to it because I had lived with brothers and male cousins and uncles, and it was easy. Well, I worked in Minneapolis for 1 year, but I wasn't really satisfied with what I was doing. I came out to California to visit my brother and sister-in-law who had moved out here then, and also my aunt and uncle who had been living out here for some time. And my aunt introduced me to the company I worked for. Clearly God thing, because I ended up with a really delightful boss. He had 1 daughter, and she was in the first class of women at Harvard Business School. He was very supportive and understanding and gave me lots of opportunities. I was a secretary. I took shorthand. And then I became a secretary statistician and doing some support work. I decided to take an investment class just to understand what was going on. So I did that at night and found I really kind of liked it. And he was always, Mr. Bessel was his name, Cecil Bessel, an Englishman. A really delightful man. I was always asking questions, and he was very supportive. He would listen and talk to anybody who was young and trying to do something. He got super busy because he became a portfolio manager, and they didn't have enough time, so he gave me a part of one of his industries to work on. It was a Friday. It was raining in LA, and I'm getting into the office, and I'm thinking, I wonder what it's like when it rains in New York. And that day, the director of research called me in and said, how would you like to move to New York and become a research associate? And I said, sure. And he said, no, don't you want to think about it over the weekend? I said, no. I said, I'm ready. And I think that was a God thing. Because he a little choked up. He had prepared me by making me think about it ahead of time. My last role was as Global Research Director on the institutional side of Capital Group. And I was president of the subsidiary and chairman of the board. But I remember when they asked me to be research director, I said no. I said no 3 times. And they asked me, and I was like, who needs that? Who needs people responsibilities? And it was kind of, finally I gave in. Said, oh, all right, I'll do it. And it turned out that was one of the best parts of my career. watching the development of other young people and providing support for them. My management style was described as leading from behind, which sounds kind of weird, but I think it, as some of the people reported to me, said that I enabled them and supported them, and they developed in their own way. I wasn't very achievement-oriented or something like that. I was not focused on the title, really. And I think that was a good thing, because I didn't worry that I wasn't being recognized so much. It doesn't matter who she is, look what she's done. So just do the best you can. And don't worry about it. A young woman, no longer that young, I suppose, that I had known as we were in high school together. Her husband became involved with Bethel. I think was even chairman of the board at one point. And she tattled on me. She told somebody over there, you had to make contact with Karin. What really always impressed me so much was the atmosphere on campus. I remember just walking in the building and feeling different. I mean, wonderful people, lots of wonderful people. I've been really encouraged by the way that the curriculum has adapted to the current and future needs of our country and the world, really. And I think that's what has made me want to be supportive of Bethel. It isn't just a place for Bible study, but it really makes it clear that we can contribute as Christians to the science of this world and doing it in a meaningful way.